Hello. I assume that you are here because you just saw my Bufo process, and I was blessed with looking at the comments yesterday, and there were so many questions, and it took me on a beautiful journey of remembrance of who I was then and who I am now. And I know a lot of people who are seeking information about sitting with Bufo for the first time. It's been 4 years now. Like, that's not even in their awareness. And so I would love to put that in your awareness, that happiness can definitely be found. And so I'd like to explain who I am. My name is Leslie. And, over the past 4 years, I have learned how, with the wisdom of plants and these sacred medicines, how to heal myself and how to truly have joy and love and be fulfilled in my every single day life. I support men and women to find their joy. And the way that Spirit has worked with me the most is how to find joy that's being blocked through your gut and through your stomach, which is your connection to the mother. So mother wounds. And so I did all of my healing and I'm continuing to do that as well with my relationship to the mother. And that covers a lot of different things. My birth mother, my connection to the earth, and in a lot of, older medicines, they understand that your gut health and the brain in your gut is your connection to the earth. So now the earth is also our mother. So there's a lot of different ways that the mother wound shows up in your life, whether it's your relationship with your physical mother, with the earth, or with water, because water is also believed in native cultures around the world to be the mother of us. The water, she definitely is the mother. And so I connect people on their journey. I'm kind of like the translator of all of this plant wisdom to people who may not be ready to sit fully in ceremony, but are ready to do some deeper diving, deeper healing on their journey. And a lot of people are unaware that most of their unhappiness is being caused by the traumas connected to the mother. So I support people in that journey. I own an apothecary where I make beautiful medicines from the plants, from the earth, the way that our grandmothers used to, generations back. No matter where you are in the world, there you have a grandmother who knew that plants were here to heal. And plants, every single one of them, have a conversation that they want to have with you, and they're here to support you. So I translate that wisdom because plant frequency and human frequency are a little different. So sometimes what they're trying to tell you is in a language that you don't understand yet. And so that's where I come in with my medicines. I show you the path. I translate. I actually found medicine for depression. I had tried all the routes that the Western society told me to do: prescriptions, therapy, yoga, these things that I had been told to try. I had tried them, and they weren't making sense, and they weren't resulting in any joy. So ayahuasca found me, and I, over a few months span, I gathered the courage to finally go and sit with a shaman and face a lot of these issues. And so I sat with ayahuasca 4 times over a span of a few months, and I felt like I was ready for something else. My soul understood there was something that was ready, and a really good sister of mine recommended Bufo. So I came to that ceremony, and that was the ceremony that I healed my depression. And it was with all of the wisdom and teaching that ayahuasca had provided, with this expansive consciousness of Bufo, to just open the gates of my knowing. And all these years later, I have lost 150 pounds. I have taken my power back over my own health, physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually. I've healed these aspects that were holding me back, truly. And I was blessed with another child, so now I have 2 sons. So in the video of my Bufo, when I was crying towards the end, I was crying through the love and the pure innocence that I held within my soul towards my son. And I had never felt that before. I had only held shame towards being a mom across the board of my age, my marital status, how I showed up for him, how I was continuing generational trauma on him. All of this shame and guilt was stored within the body, and Bufo supported me to release that and finally forgive myself, and finally forgive my mother and my father. And so with these teachings, it led me to a third ancestral medicine, which is called peyote. And this is the medicine that has transformed my life completely. He's taught me so much about myself, my will, my presence in the world, what I'm here to do, and how to do it. So peyote is kind of like the integration of these deeper cleanses and ancestral healing that happened. And now peyote supports me to be a walking embodiment of the healing. And in a ceremony, peyote showed me a really beautiful vision of my grandmother's making tinctures from plants. And the grandmother that he showed me, she knew everything. She knew where in her village, or the place that she lived, where certain medicines grew. She knew how to prepare them, whether making a tincture, making a tea, making a salve, making drying it out and eating it, or making a bath. She just had all of this understanding of how to work with the plants that were surrounding her, and how to heal her family, how to heal herself, and how to heal her community. And then the vision kind of transformed into my own hands making a grandfather cactus peyote tincture. He showed me exactly how to do it, and I sat with that, and it was a blessing, a wisdom unlocking, a knowing, that a remembrance that he had blessed me with. And the intention behind the tinctures is to support people who are there. They're ready to heal, but they haven't done enough deprogramming and cleansing to feel ready to sit in a full ceremony. The full ceremonies can be intense, and they can be everything against everything you know. So that is a large request from the universe, from someone. But that doesn't mean that you're not deserving of peace, and you're not deserving of the healing. So my tinctures come in as a daily practice, and they're so subtle, and they're so soft, but they're powerful in cleaning out the spirit and cleaning off the initial sludge that has been built over this life, past lives, and your ancestors' lives that's holding you back. And so you work with people to begin the healing on a real, genuine level. I make connections. I provide a space of safety and non-judgment and calmness that maybe a lot of people aren't used to yet. But it provides you the dimension and the frequency of yourself to do it, to just be okay. It's like when you're on top of the playground when you were a kid and you were gonna jump off that tall building. My energy brings you into the space right behind the fear, just enough to say, just do it. And then you do it. And you do it. That's the biggest thing to remember, is that you do the healing. You are your own shaman. But as humans, we need wisdom to be unlocked, kind of like an initiation, kind of like a human book. All you have to do is be in the presence of someone who has done it to activate that memory within you. And that's where someone like myself comes in. There were a couple of questions like, what was I thinking during the process? What was I feeling? And what I remember was that everything went black, and I saw white, wispy symbols. I know now that it's called light language, but at the time I didn't know what it was. It just was like ancient scribing floating in smoke, just floating, and kind of like the Star Wars word, they just kind of go up and are never ending. And they all felt great. They all felt like they were a part of me, very familiar. And then there was a code or a symbol that did not make sense, and it was foreign. And so I started sending it like my energy, kind of like a tuning fork. If you like ding it and it goes ding, that frequency I was just sending to that foreign light language. And that is what my screaming looked like. My screaming was me pushing out this code. Now that I know, it was my depression. It was the programming that I received that was depression, and depression was holding back my connection to my emotions. So I wasn't feeling anything because there was a wall there, and I ripped it open. And so then I sat in emotions for my whole life, love and peace. And there were some of the darker emotions because I also wasn't feeling those. And that was perfect. It was beautiful. I was grateful to be able to feel it. And then when I started crying was because I came into a gratitude space, a space of love, and like I couldn't believe that I deserved this love, but I knew I deserved it. So I had no option but to cry. It was kind of like being in the presence of God. All you can really do is fall to your knees and weep. And there's no dogma in what God I'm speaking of. I just mean the creator, the essence of love. And so when I realized that I was worthy of that love, and that I had always been, and I could do nothing to not ever be worthy of it, nothing, it overcame me. And then in the medicine, things are multidimensional, so I was feeling that, and I was also feeling that for my son because I created him, so I was his creator. And I felt the final deep trust within myself that I wasn't ever gonna not love him. He could do nothing to make me not love him. And I feared that he would become something. I would turn him into something that I couldn't love because I wasn't able to love myself in the same way. So I feared he would become myself. So it was this beautiful coming home of love, coming home to gratitude and to the earth and to the water. And it was what I needed. It was everything that I needed, and I still walk in that embodiment today, years later. I sit with the medicines pretty frequently. I have been trained, and I have the knowledge to serve Bufo to people who are ready for that. It's not my main focus because it's such a powerful experience, but I have people that I trust fully to offer them to you, for them to offer the medicine to you. I'm in Texas, and so there's a church that I work with, and everything is done under the church status, secure and safe. So I hope that my path can be inspiring to you to take the jump that you need, whether that is to sit with the full ancestral medicine or to find a mentor or a guide like myself, because you deserve it and you truly, truly are worthy of it. And I thank you for watching this video. I thank you for doing this work. Even just becoming aware is the work as well. You are brave enough to come here, and I thank you for that. I honor your path, and I honor your life, every single facet of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. I hope.